Will Kayla Harrison walk out of this weekend a champion, or is the weight cut and all that follows just going to be too much? What's up, everybody? Laura Sanko here. As always, I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the black sheep, Dean Thomas. Are you
That's right.
are you a bit of a black sheep, Dean?
I'm a major black sheep in
Are you?
life. Absolutely. I always go against the grain. That's why I dress so funky.
Is that why you got the background today?
Well, that shaped my high school years into the man I am today.
Can you can you consolidate and answer? Like that's such a broad invitation to have an hour-long conversation. Can you give me a 10-second summation of what you mean by that?
Well, all I got to say
You
is
can get with this or you can get with that.
that's exactly what I was going to say. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Did you get with
You can get
both?
with this or
Or
no,
you can
what
get
did
with
I?
everybody.
Yeah, or you can get with everybody. No, you can get with this, you can get with that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. But you know what I'm saying? But this is where it's at.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. This is where it's at, by the way.
This is where it's at.
This is exactly where it's at. We're talking UFC 316 co-main event. The champion, Julianna Peña, taking on Kayla Harrison. Before we start talking about this fight, a couple of housekeeping items off the top. Dean's gonna have to sit here and look cute for a second while I just prattle on. Okay, first of all, we have several fan submissions that we will get to at the end of our analysis, so stay tuned for those. We love seeing your faces and learning your names. If you guys want to participate in that, as always, you can send us a 30-ish second video to at oneononecombatsports@gmail.com. Or now we're going to have a comment at the bottom of this video, first comment in the section that will be pinned. Just reply to that with your questions, comments, thoughts, whatever you want to say, and we will add those and respond to those, or as many as we can get to, for our UFC 317 analysis videos of the main and co-main event for that event. Now, on that note, be looking for those videos for UFC 317 a lot earlier than we normally put these out. Typically, we are mid-fight week before pay-per-view. We're going to go a week earlier. We are trying to woo the algorithm. We're trying to make friends with the algorithm, and we're going to see if maybe get our stuff out a little bit earlier, getting first to the races, maybe second to the races, helps grow the channel a bit. We're gonna give it a shot. If it doesn't work, we might go back. Who knows? But keep an eye out for our preview and our analysis coming a little bit earlier than usual. So yeah, that's all the boring stuff off the top, Dean. Man, a fun fight in the women's bantamweight division. A very fun fight, I feel.
Oh, it's the best, most fun fight you could make in the women's division right now. Currently, it is.
Hmm.
May not be the most skilled in a way, but it's the best, most fun fight that you can make in the women's division right now. And I love this fight because I love Juliana Pena. And earlier on the weekend, we did the interview with her, and she called me Din. I'm like, Juliana.
Stop.
She called me
She
Din.
did?
Yeah, and she does it every.
Does she do it on purpose?
I don't think she does it on purpose.
She just sees your name and like,
I think she just sees the spelling in her head and just calls me Din.
I mean, I know she's not the first.
She's not the, a lot of people from the Midwest do it a lot.
Did I ever? Tell me the truth. Did I when I first met you?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay.
I think you were
I mean,
respectful
because
enough.
I knew who you were from when you were a fighter, so I would have heard your name a lot. But you know what? Actually, I remember this because I remember thinking like, I know his name is Dean Thomas, and then I saw it written out, and I was like, the fuck?
Yeah,
Is that a typo?
yeah, yeah. People do that, and then they just start calling me Din, and I'm like, and I don't even correct them. I just go, oh damn, I'm gonna
Yeah.
correct them.
Is Dean your full name, or is
Yeah.
I
It
was
is. It's Dean Yarrow. That's my middle name.
okay? That was my question. So Dean
Yeah.
Yarrow. I thought Dinero was just like a funny little nickname that you gave yourself.
Birth certificate.
Dinero, but it's your middle name?
Mm-hmm.
What's your real first name?
It's
Oh
just
my God.
Dean. Real
What?
first name is just Dean, Din.
Wait, so your name is Dean Dinero?
No, no, Dean, and then Yarrow is my middle name.
Stop. Okay, wait a second.
Yes,
What?
yes,
Your name is Dean Yarrow Thomas.
yes.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
But when I
I
was a
thought you
kid,
made up De Niro like it's funny because my name's Dean and you can call me De Niro, you know?
nope. So when I was a kid, I used to hate it. I was like, why can't my name be Bob? And then when I got older, I was like, man, I got a pretty cool name,
It's
huh?
pretty fly, yeah. That's
Yeah.
super cool. Well, I just learned something new about my buddy Dean here. All right, sorry guys, back to the actual reason for this video. You were saying you love Juliana Peña, but she called you Din.
Yeah, she called me Den, but she's good in terms of selling fights
Yeah.
and believing in herself because I don't think she's selling this fight because she wants to sell a fight. I think she's doing this because that's just who she is. I
Oh,
think she's just being her, and it just so happens to be selling the fight.
yes. When she speaks about her belief in herself, I've been around her. She has an energy of determination and confidence that is unlike anyone else I have ever been around, especially for someone who has had her career. Now, you would think that she had beaten, like, if you're around her and you hear her talk and you see her commanding presence, you would think that she had beaten Chris Cyborg and Amanda Nunes twice each. And that, I'm telling you what, is a gift because she is not fronting, she's not questioning it in her head. She believes that shit in her soul, and that is her biggest weapon.
I just I love it because look at her resume though. Like she's got a pretty strong resume. Like Ultimate Fighter winner, won the belt twice. It's a pretty strong resume.
When you say it like that, yes. When you say, other than Amanda Nunes, like you have to talk about her resume because she has Amanda Nunes, a win over Amanda Nunes on her resume. But her other fights are Sarah McMahon, Nika Montano, a loss to GDR, a loss to Valentina way back in 2017. Like she's not been very active. And
Right.
her,
I get all those. I get all those 100%. I
but the
just
only one that matters is Amanda Nunes.
right. And then even in the rematch, she got beat up like 10-8s, but there was still something about that entire fight where you were at the edge of your seat thinking,
Yeah,
hope she don't catch her.
yeah.
Hope she don't catch Amanda and with a minute left.
Because you know that woman is mentally dangerous no matter what is happening to her in a fight. And she absolutely destroyed Amanda's will to be in a fight. And
Hmm.
that's a fact. And I say
Yeah.
that with the greatest of respect to the greatest female fighter of all time. It was not a night that her brain wanted to be in there. And
Right.
Juliana capitalized on that.
Which is why I give her some. Well, do we have stats on this first?
Okay, okay.
I want to get into the stats.
Look at you
I want to hear the stats
transitioning.
first.
Look at
Yeah.
you transitioning for me. I don't need a producer, Dean. I just need you to do your
I
job.
want because you reading off these stats is always one of my favorite parts of the
Is
show.
it? Okay. All right. Well, here we go. So we've got Juliana Peña versus Kayla Harrison. Juliana Peña, 8-3, two by knockout, and yeah, two submission, four decision. And then we've got Kayla Harrison, 2-0 in the UFC, one submission, one decision. Obviously, she has a much longer history outside of the UFC, two-time PFL champion, all the things. Juliana Peña, 5'6", Kayla Harrison, 5'8". Juliana Peña, 69-inch reach, Kayla Harrison, 66-inch reach. Peña, 35, Harrison, 34, so pretty close in age. The stat that really jumps out to me is the striking accuracy of Kayla Harrison. 64.2% is extremely high. Peña's is well above average at 44.9%. UFC average is 42%. Strikes landed per minute, 4.87 for Harrison, 3.25 for Peña. Takedown accuracy for Juliana Peña is 56.3%. Kayla Harrison's is only 30.8%. Now, again, we got to keep in mind these are UFC career stats. So,
Okay, I was just going to ask you, like, are these
yeah.
stats
Yeah, that's just
all
UFC,
of Kayla's career,
unfortunately.
but
That
these
would be a
UFC?
very different number if her PFL stats were in here. We all know that.
Hmm.
But to this point in the UFC, that's where she's living. And so far in the UFC, Kayla Harrison has a 100% takedown defense. I don't know how many times she's been shot. Actually, I can find that lower here on the spreadsheet. But and then Peña's takedown defense, 23.1%. So not phenomenal.
That's not good at all.
No, it's not. Pena has been knocked down 4 times. Kayla Harrison never been knocked down. And then let me find the grappling stat that's going to make up that. Yeah, only one person. Kayla's only had one takedown attempted on her, and she defended it. So there has been 26 takedowns attempted on Juliana, and she has been taken down 20 of those 26 times. So that'll give you a
Jesus.
little flavor. Although, you know what? I should read out Pena's submission stat because that's obviously a part of the storyline here too. Juliana has 0.81 submission attempts per 15 minutes. Kayla Harrison is 0.69. Again, we're only talking about 2 fights here. That would be higher, but really Kayla's main thing when she gets on the ground is ground and pound. But Pena is an excellent grappler. I just don't know if that's going to be the wisest path this time. I don't know. What do you think this fight's going to look like?
Well, it can look a lot of different ways, but there's one thing that's definitely going to happen. Ju Juliana Pena is getting taken down. So I had talked to Michael Chiesa about this fight, and we were kind of trying to figure out what her best path of victory is. And she's been working with like this wrestling coach, and I was like, I hope not. I mean, that's a that's not the for me the way I would approach this fight because I didn't even realize her takedown stats were that bad. Like if your takedown defense is 29% against the average UFC fighter,
Hmm.
you're going up against possibly the best takedown artist in women history.
Yeah, and if not the best takedown artist, certainly the most decorated female
Yes.
ever in
Like
combat sports.
I wouldn't spend hardly any time wrestling.
Hmm.
In order for her to win this fight, she is going to need a very defensive and yet very dangerous guard.
Hmm.
She's going to have to first be able to defend herself in her guard and then also be dangerous in her guard enough to make Kayla work, enough to make Kayla not want to be in it. That's your takedown defense, a dangerous guard. Because you're not going to stop Kayla from taking you down.
I mean, can you watch a fight like the one that she had against Larissa Pacheco and, the one fight that she lost
Absolutely, absolutely.
and take them?
Because Larissa Pacheco was coached by Jucal at ATT Atlanta, and I talked to him about the fight. He said we were sure to work on her guard.
Hmm.
Like that was the key in camp was to make sure that she had a good enough guard that she didn't get her guard passed, that she had good guard retention, and then she was also dangerous enough in the guard to create opportunities to threaten Kayla or get back to her feet or just, make Kayla work. Her guard was the answer. And it's not going to be wrestling for Juliana Pena because she's not a good enough wrestler with a good enough baseline for wrestling anyway.
And the one thing that you cannot do against Kayla Harrison is just hang out in bottom guard with no plan for
Yeah, like you
being
can't.
offensive. Like her ground and pound is otherworldly.
Yeah.
It
So
is
she's going to have to be
otherworldly.
really defensively sound,
Yeah.
like really defensive, and then also offensive enough in moments. So you rolled with Craig Jones last week.
Yeah.
I bought his DVD series Close Guard, and he talks about this. He talks about using your closed guard momentarily to be defensive or
Mhm.
just to find moments to find offense in your guard. And this really applies to Juliana Pena. You got to be really defensive. Like you can't eat a bunch of elbows and you can't eat a bunch of punches throwing up submissions. So you have to really have worked on this and be very specific and detailed about how you approach your guard game. One, defend yourself. Two, attack. Th- Three, go back to yourself. Four, go back to it. Like it's just
Mhm.
nonstop. Defend, attack, defend, attack. But you can't just one thing she can't do is just give up her back trying to stand up.
Mhm.
That is an absolute. She's gonna get eaten up if she does that.
Yeah, you have to be able to have the skill set to create space. Get your butterflies, work to a knee shield, heels on the hips, kick away, create space, technical get up, stuff like that. Like that or deep half sweeps, things like that. But the typical, like, I'm just going to turn and build off of my turtle or whatever.
Well, and that's what I fear about her working with a wrestling coach because like in wrestling that's acceptable.
Mhm.
Turn over, get halfway, give up your back, stand up, cut the hands, and now you're out. It's not gonna work against Kayla Harrison. Like if she's better off working in her guard and keeping Kayla off balance, like using a really good, sophisticated guard, advanced guard techniques of just using her legs as arms to defend punches, and then going down to the legs butterfly to get her off balance, create some space. Go to a single back. Just a really advanced system, and I just don't know if she did that.
What are your thoughts on Kayla, and what percent of her ability are we actually seeing at 135?
Now here, and this is why I believe in Juliana's guard because of what I also believe for Kayla. We have not seen her at 135 in a dogfight for 5 rounds. We can say, oh, well, she made the weight. Yeah, she fought Holly Holm,
Hmm.
who was kind of a gimme at the time. Okay, and she fought Ketlin Vieira. Yeah, Ketlin gave her way too much respect. So she wasn't in a dogfight in those fights. It wasn't taxing on her body after the weight cut.
Ketlin also made her look a little human.
And Ketlin did make her look a little human, but she didn't try to dog her out the way Juliana should.
Hmm.
So my thing is, I don't trust it going down that much in weight. Fighters that cut so much weight, they never really look good. They always want to go back up. And if you asked Kayla if she had a choice, if the UFC had a higher divisions, that's where she would be.
Oh my God, 1,000%. I know I've said this on the
Yeah,
channel before, but just in
that's
case,
where she would be.
yes,
She's only doing this because she has to.
just in case people haven't watched other videos that where we talk about Kayla Harrison, let me remind you, okay? She spent her Olympic career at 176 doing judo. She spent the vast majority of her championship level MMA career at 155, and she looked strong as fuck. And then she about killed herself to make 45 to have her first Invicta fight. And I was there for that. And I remember talking to her, and she's like, Laura, I don't know if I can ever do this again. What I had to do to get down to 45 was crazy. And there's no way I can make 35. I'd have to chop a leg off. And obviously, she has made 35. But if you want to know what this woman has to do to maintain that weight, because she cannot for a second allow herself to put on muscle. And all she's doing is cardio, 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 cardio. She walks 6 miles every day in the Florida heat. The number of calories that this woman has to burn to consistently atrophy what her body is trying to build, like she's constantly fighting her own body. Her body wants to be 170.
Yeah, that's such a dangerous place to be, but it speaks a lot about her character
God, and her discipline.
and what she wants in life. So for
Yes.
that, I give her a lot of credit for that.
It's it's incredible. And to be a single mom of two kids, kids that you did not give birth to, kids that came to you through a crazy set of circumstances where overnight you are the mother of two young children, all of the responsibility, all of the brain space that takes. I cannot tell you, you're a parent, Dean.
Hmm.
No one prepares you for your brain is never your own again. There's always a little part of you that's like my CPU or whatever. I'm never going to
Yeah,
have 100% of it back because there's part of my brain that is always thinking about my son. What's he doing? Is he safe? Is he hungry? Is he bored? Is he happy?
right.
And to have that mental shift come like that with all the tragic circumstances around it, that's just a lot. And it was in the middle of her championship career, at PFL. Like, just I just I just love her. I kind of have a bit of a girl crush on Kayla Harrison, if I'm being honest. Like,
Well,
not sexually, but
no, but
every
I
other
get it. No,
response.
no, I get it. There's a lot to admire about her. I mean, she's an incredible human being, and she's an
Yes.
incredible role model for people around her. I know a lot of people that are close to her in her circle from being at top team.
She's just
So
a beautiful human being. And
yeah, no doubt.
it reminds me actually, and this is a point I should bring up. I said earlier that Ketlin Vieira made her look human. And I remember thinking in that fight, I'm like, man, that was actually the fight that made me go, man, are we ever going to get to see what I got to see at 145? Where she just absolutely, I mean, she almost killed this poor girl in Invicta. And then, of course, what we saw when she was fighting at 155. Those were the thoughts going through my head. And then I watched an interview of hers that she did after the Vieira fight with, I want to say it was Mike Bond, but I'm not 100% sure. So I'm sorry if it wasn't you, Mike, and I'm sorry if it wasn't, if for whoever it was, but I think it was Mike. And they were talking about that. And no, this never made the headlines, but she was in the hospital that week. She was in the hospital during fight week with a terrible infection that they never fully diagnosed or identified. She was on antibiotics. No one knew. She didn't tell anybody other than obviously the people closest to her. Yeah, she and I had a long conversation about what we think it might have been, and I won't get into that because that's her business. But like, cutting weight does crazy things to your body. It does extra crazy things to Kayla Harrison's body because she is doing it to such extreme lengths. I hope that she can be healthy coming into this one, but there was a reason that not a lot of people knew about that she looked so human.
I get it. No, I get it 100%. And I don't know how I don't know if this weight class and all this is sustainable. But I don't think she cares. I think she just wants to be able to be I'm
Yeah,
a UFC champ.
yeah.
I can't imagine her trying to win this belt and go on a run of all these title defenses.
If she wins
I
it, does
think
she fight Amanda at 45?
I think so. I think she's gonna want to say, come on, let's do this at 45.
I don't think Amanda would hate that. Do you? Or do you think Amanda would be like, no, we have to do it at 35 because then I need to fight other people at 35?
Well, if I was Amanda, I'd say let's do it at
That's
35.
true. That's a good point.
Why give
I
her
just,
why give her an extra advantage?
I
But
don't know. I saw Amanda in, it's not really fair to say because that's so far from any fight that they might even theoretically have. It could be a year from now. Who knows? But, Amanda's looking strong,
yeah,
strong,
she's
you
big
know.
and strong and but yeah, I don't know how long this lasts for Kayla in terms of sustainability, but
Mhm.
if she can do it once, then she has achieved
Lifelong
what
dream.
she wanted. Yeah, so I'll give her, and I got to give her a lot of props because what she's trying to do is not easy, and she's hasn't had it easy, and and she's a soldier,
She
straight
is.
soldier. Yeah, that's why I love this fight so much. I think this is they're two women that I think have a lot more in common,
Yeah.
and I wanted to address that to them or when they came on our show, but I never really got to
Yeah.
articulate it that way. But they really do have a lot in common.
Yeah.
But right now they can't see it because all they see is, hey, I'm trying to beat your beat your
Yeah.
tail in a couple weeks.
I like when these two start barking back and forth and you know that they're really getting heated up when one of them starts saying, "Oh, honey,
Yeah,
honey,
yeah,
please,
yeah, honey,
honey,
please, yeah.
honey, go away." Like it's the most uh female way to like put someone in their place, honey. And
Is
I
that
love it.
is that just the most demoralizing thing
Yeah.
you can say to?
Like calling someone a bitch is just like whatever. But
Yeah,
honey is just so condescending. It's so like,
yeah, that is pretty
yeah,
condescending.
you're so
Like a
like,
bitch,
come
like
on,
calling
honey.
somebody a bitch is too
Yeah,
cliche and it's so it's kind of that's played out.
yeah, yeah. Also, I
Oh,
mean, it's so overused. You can use it as a compliment. Be like, oh,
yeah,
bitch, yeah, you know. But yeah, when you
honey.
say a condescending like honey, that's when stuff's gonna go down.
I'm. I think honestly, I really do believe that this is the people's main event
I love it.
Saturday night. I
I
think
love
this is
it.
the people's main event. It's a great fight.
The
Can't
odds
wait to
would
see the
not indicate that Juliana has much of a chance, but
I
if
don't like that.
anybody has a
I don't
chance,
see
it's
that. Yeah,
Juliana.
I think she's got the best chance in the UFC to beat her.
Yeah, I agree.
Stylistically, she's got a really good shot.
Yep. For all of the active bantamweights, I agree with you. She's got a great submission game. and she's got everything airtight up here. So it's gonna
And that was what Ketlin Vieira didn't have. Ketlin Vieira gave uh, Kayla Harrison way too much respect
be.
and didn't push her.
Hmm.
And Juliana's going to push her.
She is gonna
It's,
push her. She
it's
is.
going to be great.
All right, let's go to our fan submissions. Let me share my screen here. All right, we got Derek here with some thoughts. Let's hear what Derek has to say.
UFC 316 co-main. I got Kayla Harrison on this. Only thing that worries me is the weight cut. If she's going to be able to cut the weight and perform at a high level still. I know both of you guys have some quite a bit of fight experience. Um, just seeing that Nunes fight, because obviously everybody wants to Amanda Nunes fight, but on that Nunes fight, is Kayla going to be able to, at her age, be able to fight Amanda Nunes at the highest form and maybe not get knocked out or nothing, sacrificing the chin with that big weight cut. So I was just seeing what you guys think and how you guys think that fight will unfold, and if Kayla can work the wrestling and get Amanda tired, kind of like Julianna Peña did, but Peña or whatever. But just seeing what you guys' thoughts on that next fight, if you guys can.
Derek, it's like you read our minds. We just spent the last couple minutes talking exactly with what he was saying. I like
Yeah.
Derek's analysis. He is clearly a very educated fan. What do you think, though, about this hypothetical matchup between Kayla and Amanda?
Well, just off the top of the dome, I think Amanda would run through her. Honestly, like at 135, I think Amanda would run through her. I think her
Hmm.
footwork is too good. She's too accurate. She understands the game and she scrambles really well. She might get taken down a few times, but she scrambles really well. She's really athletic. And she would wear on Kayla Harrison at 135. But with that being said, I think we're going to learn a lot about Kayla Harrison this fight
Hmm.
and how she performs at 135. I think we're going to learn a lot about her because, especially if it's a tough fight. And then that'll help me make a more educated decision on what I think the Amanda Nunes fight would look like. But just what I know about her right now, what I know about Amanda Nunes right now, I think Amanda would run through her.
I'm not prepared to say that Amanda would run through her, but I do agree that Amanda would be by far, if she gets past Juliana Pena, Amanda would be the biggest challenge by a mile. And I think that Amanda's, like you said, the footwork, I can see Kayla having a hard time finding Amanda if Amanda didn't want to be found. And Amanda, when Amanda did want to be found, she's just got so much power, so much power. And you know, if Amanda could come back and looked like she never left, that would be a big X factor. Obviously, she's had some time off. Um, I don't know that that needs to be, a big talking point, but it is one. So yeah, it'd be fun. We all know that that would be one of the biggest fights. It's not the biggest, but it would be one of the biggest fights in women's MMA history. All right, let's go to our last fan submission here. Let me share my screen again. All right, we got Eric here. Let's hear what Eric has to say.
Laura and Dean, I have a quick question. Back in the day, I would watch Hickson Gracie battles, and he would get into an open guard situation and use his heels to hit at the liver in the back. Is that still a legal move? And if so, why aren't anybody using it anymore?
Ooh, look at you showing off how long you've been a real fan. We
I love the
love
question.
that.
I love the question.
I love the question
Don't
too.
I don't think that's legal.
The liver is
Is that a I don't think
from
is
the
it,
bottom.
I'm not sure that's a legal move.
Well, okay, but remember when Macy Chasson got knocked out by Irene? Was it Irene Aldana knocked her out like that? Remember? She
That
upkicked.
was an up kick.
Oh, what's he describing? Oh, are they
He's talking
both?
about a kidney in the
Oh,
back. I don't think that's legal.
that is not legal.
Yeah,
That
that's
is
not
not legal.
legal.
I was
Yeah.
misunderstanding the position that he was describing.
Yeah.
I was
He was
thinking
the
open. I was thinking open guard, as in one person standing, one person
no.
with their legs akimbo.
Yeah. No, he's referring to when you're in your guard and you're kicking the kidney.
Ah, yeah, no, you can't do that.
Yeah. Which I don't know
You could
why.
you could to the liver on the front side, but you can't.
Yeah.
So basically, there's like if you imagine the width, it's the example that they always use, the width of a stack of playing cards running right down the spine of the human all the way to their tailbone. So you can kick them. You've seen people kick people in like the buttocks, You could kick him in the ribs.
Right. And you can heal them. You can heal them in the thighs,
Yeah.
the ribs, but you can't do it in the kidney area.
Yeah, and it wouldn't really work to do it to the liver because you'd have to be like underneath and you'd
Yeah.
go boop, and it would be
So here's a quick story. So my very first fight in the UFC was against BJ Penn, as we all know. Um, and I remember and BJ Penn, I remember being in the rules meeting because it's you know how like the refs now go into the dressing room and give the rules to the fighters in
hmm
the dressing room. But before it was
It was
like
like a big meeting, right?
it was the amateur way. Like
That's how
UFC
I
used to
always
do it
did
like
it.
amateurs. Like they did it
All
in
you
the
at
big
once.
room.
Just listen up.
Everybody all at once. They did everybody all at once. And I remember being in the room and BJ Penn was cornered by Frank Shamrock and Skipper Kelp.
No idea who Skipper Kelp is.
You know the little Asian dude to be hanging out with Dana White?
Oh yeah.
That's Skipper
Oh.
Kelp. Yeah,
Oh.
he's an amazing boxer.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look him up.
Amazing boxer. It was on the Olympic team. Anyway, so him, Skipper Kelp, and maybe it was Javier Mendez or whoever. And I remember Ken Shamrock going, um, uh, asking Big John McCarthy in the rules meeting if BJ Penn was allowed to heel me to the head from his guard because he was that flexible.
And you're like, I'm sorry, he can do what?
That's exactly what I said. I was like, because they were
He's
like, we know
capable
we're
of
not
that?
allowed to do it to the, we know we're not allowed to do it to the kidney, but can he do the heel to his head? And I was like, he's going to do what? He's able to heal me to the head from there. I was like, are you
Hard.
kidding? But BJ was that flexible. He could do that.
That's pretty incredible. And I'm sure John was like, no,
Yeah.
no, he's down. No,
It freaked me out, man. I
I
was like,
bet.
yo,
They
this
probably
dude.
just said it to be like, hey, can BJ just eat his ear off? Is that cool?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it was, just like a fear tactic.
Yeah,
It worked.
that's pretty funny. That
It
is pretty
worked.
funny. This is why I love, I mean, there's many reasons I love having you on this show, but this is one of them. Story time, like old school story time is my favorite version of story time, and I love it. So thank you for bringing that to the table.
Yeah, man, I've been around.
I love it. I love it. All right, your pick for the co-main.
I still got to go Kayla Harrison.
Yeah,
I got to go Kayla Harrison. I think her ground and pound is going to be too much.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm not afraid to make a pick on this one. But I do think, I agree that it could potentially be more of a fight than people are giving it the chance to be. So, all right, guys, that's it. Our analysis for co-main event. Don't forget, send your submissions to one-on-one combat sports at gmail.com or simply reply to the pinned comment below and we will get you in the next video for UFC 317. And of course, that next video for UFC 317 is going to be coming about a week early. So keep your notifications on, click like, click subscribe. It really does help us very much. We're trying to grow the channel so that Dean and I can just put food on the table. We appreciate you guys very much. Keep it locked in right here and we will see you next time.